All right, for the ones in the back of the room, the ones that either didn't hear me clearly or the ones just didn't quite understand me correctly. What I meant by my last video, killing the victim's mentality or the victim's mindset. You know, let's kill the victim's mentality or victim's mindset, right? What I meant by that video, when I said that basically you play a role in just about everything that happens, that you have to try to look where you can hold yourself accountable, right? I'm saying you have to try to look where you can hold yourself accountable or where you see you're holding yourself accountable. What I meant by that is this. I'm saying, first and foremost, that I'm not talking about kids, because parents, guardians, adults are mandated or obligated to protect, maintain, and sustain a child. You know, until they're in the position to where they're totally responsible for themselves. So up until that point, adults are the ones who are more responsible for the things that happens to a child, or more responsible. I can't say 100% all the time, but more responsible to what happens to a child. Also, what I wasn't referring to and what I didn't mean was, I'm not saying every situation. Like some things that happens to us in life, even as adults, only God can explain. Some things happen in life that we don't understand how it happened, but guess what? Even those things are things that we have the obligation and responsibility to turn from lemons to lemonade. We have to be able to use that experience and make it beneficial for our life the next day and the day after, so our life from yesterday to our life today. We have the responsibility to take that experience and teach others with it, as well as make our life better from it. We have the responsibility to take that experience and become a better individual with it. You see, if you go through an experience and that experience caused you to put barriers up, caused you to start building walls, caused you to start putting all these restrictions out, you see, that isn't the beneficial way of going through an experience. You're not utilizing that experience to make your life better. That experience is utilizing you. What I'm saying is that on those experiences where we don't necessarily know how it happened, I mean, we sincerely don't know how it happened, right? And I'm gonna talk to you about how to know if you played a role. But I'm saying those experiences that just some wham stuff that had happened in our life, whether it was during our childhood or whether it was just during the time as an adult, that we just don't understand, you know, what that was about, right? Oh, which are really small. In those things are small things. Let me reword it. Those things are very few. There are few in relationship to the things that you actually do play a role in. The things that you don't play a role in are very few compared to the things that you actually play a role. So I want you to keep that in mind as well. But it is our responsibility to take those things that we did not play a role in and make our life better. Make someone else's life better. That's our responsibility. Now, how do I know if I am responsible for something in it or not? You see, as an adult especially, it is your obligation in your quest to make your life better, in your quest to be happy, in your quest to fulfill your obligation in the reason of why you've been created. It is your obligation to study and master you. In doing so, it makes you not only gives you a deeper understanding of others and the world, but it also puts you in a position to where you can respond to things in the best manner, in the best way, with in mind that we are very imperfect creatures, right? However, the better and the more you understand you, the more you know about yourself, and the more things that you strive to correct, the more things you strive to strengthen, right? It puts you in a better situation to respond to life's circumstances, situations in a better way, in the best way. So, knowing how to discover or find out if you play some kind of role in something, you have to always question self. You have to always dig into self. Like, what role did I play? What role did I play? You see, it's better to do that first before pointing out the roles that others played. The role that he played, she played, it played. You know? It's better to do that first. If you haven't seen the video, Let's Kill the Victim's Mentality, then please go back and look at it. That way you might get a more thorough understanding of what I'm saying right now. But this video is only to give clarity to that video. Know that I'm not saying, because some of you are taking it like, when I say kill the victim's mentality and hold yourself accountable, right? In your mind, that means it's my fault. No, that's not what I'm saying. You see, that's a negative or counterproductive way of viewing that type of, a way of viewing what I'm saying. It's a negative and counterproductive way of viewing even this process that I'm speaking about. You see, what I'm saying with that is that it's not about whose fault necessarily it is. It's about cause and effect. It's a little bit along in that line of things. You see, there are people, just to try to give you more clarity, understand what I'm saying. There are people who done said that I was stubborn. I've been called a sweet giant. I've been called impatient. I've been called patient. I've been called selfish. I've been called unselfish. I've been called mean. I've been called nice. I've been called quiet. I've been called talkative. And guess what? You see, I may be a little bit of all of that to each and every individual who has perceived me as such. Because what you get from a person a lot of time is based off of that person's also their energy, their mindset. They kind of extract certain responses from you, not saying they're controlling you, not saying you're not in control of yourself, because you're supposed to be all the time. And it doesn't mean that your response to a person is like that's something that they deserve or that's something that you couldn't have had no control over. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that some individuals, some energies, some mindsets, some vibes have a more harmonious than others. Has more chemistry than others. And for the ones that don't have a certain chemistry along a certain line of dealing, it brings something out of you that may make a person say some of the things that I just named. So my point with that is that I want you to understand that in understanding of what you could have done different, what that does is push you in a position to come through an experience stronger, to come through an experience more empowered, opposed to the opposite. That's what those questions make you do. It isn't so that we come through an experience with baggage, that, like we say, we don't want to come through an experience scarred up with baggage. We want to come through an experience being better, being greater, being wiser, being more patient, being having more value for clarity and so on and so forth. We want to come through an experience more evolved. We don't want to go through an experience where I done took 5 steps forward and 10 backwards. No. So this is my whole point and reason why I say it is so important in our striving to attain, cultivate, and protect our peace of mind, which is equated to our happiness. One of the reasons why this is so important is because in our desire to get to this place, right? We have to understand how important it is, the way we go through an experience, the way we deal, process, perceive other individuals, other things, and basically just how we leave that experience, how we move forward. And so being able to be in control of that process, you have to have a mindset where, again, you're the one always empowered. You're the one always in control. You're the one, and don't mean that you're always going to be in control, but you know that you're supposed to always be in control. You know that nothing is supposed to be able to control you. Nothing is supposed to be making you do this, that, or another. Nothing is supposed to be able to, let me pull in for a second, because I'm making this longer than I had intended to be. Let's say you trust someone. Just more clarity in what I'm saying. Let's say you trust someone. Let's say that they told you can trust them, right? So in your mind, well, we had an agreement. You said I can trust you to do so and so or be so and so, and therefore I'm expecting that. Understanding that without expectation, you can't be never disappointed, right? Understanding that only that disappointment, that expectation, what's the word I'm looking for? Expectation comes before disappointment. That's not the word I'm looking for, though. But you have to have it as a prerequisite of disappointment. Expectation that goes unfulfilled. So anyway, someone gives you the right to expect something. Someone gives you the right to expect something, and in that right to expect something, they don't fulfill it. So then you get upset, and you get mad, and you say, you didn't do this, why you didn't do this, that, and other. You sit down. If that is something that has happened once, but especially a number of times, let's say in that particular area, let's say in the area of cheating, right? You have to, while it's their responsibility to carry out what they say, you still need to ask yourself, why did you trust it? You see, sometimes holding oneself accountable is just no more than saying, I chose to trust him. Why? Not just because of what he said, not just because of what she said. I chose to trust the individual because it's something in my criteria. That which I use to determine if I can trust you or not, that which I use to determine if you and I have or even compatible or not, that which I use to determine if I think that we are a good fit, or that if I think that you are evil, if I think that you are good, if I, so on and so forth. But that criteria is a thing that I need to reevaluate, because it's something in me that gravitates to a certain type. In this example, gravitates to a certain type, a certain place, a certain thing that is keep producing results that I don't want. What is it in me, in my criteria, but it's still in me, right, that is causing me or making me say, first of all, gravitate to a thing, and then say, you know what, I feel I can trust you. I really believe I can trust you. You see, you have to go and dig into self. And again, sometimes, and when you hold yourself accountable, again, this is not to say it's your fault. What it is to say is that I could have done things differently. I should have done some things differently on my end. They're still responsible for whatever they did or didn't do and didn't fulfill or this, that, and that. They're still responsible for that. However, your position is to come out of this thing more empowered, stronger than you went in it, better than you went in it, wiser than you went in it, more patient than you went in it. You see, this is your role. This is your obligation and responsibility. And to do so, you have to be able to always know that you're the master of you and yours. So therefore, with knowing that, you got to be able to claim the results at times for the things that you don't want to happen, as well as to the things that you want to happen. So we quick to claim the reward of things that that's good, that's glorifying. We done all that. No help. We thank God about the most. Maybe sometimes a few people, but for the most part, I've done that. But when things don't happen in the way it is, even if our child come out a certain way, if the child good, we praise the child. The child not good, we don't. You know, I don't know where you get that from. You didn't get that from me. Anything we consider bad about a child, you didn't get it from me. You got it from somebody else. If you have bad, you got it from who I don't know where you get it from. I'm just saying. So the thing is that is a very serious mindset. Whether we understand it or not, whether we say we playing or serious or not, it's a very serious mindset. So all I'm saying is that sometimes that holding oneself accountable is no more than just saying that I chose to trust somebody and why. It's something in me. It's not a negative towards yourself. It's not saying that you're the reason why it happened, but it is to say that you play a role in it, and you have to figure out your role that you play, especially if it's something that continues to happen over and over and over. So I hope that brought some clarity to that, and if it didn't, feel free to get into the comments and ask me whatever you need to ask me, and I will definitely respond and try to bring as much more clarity to this as I can. Thank you. Peace and blessings.